In this session we're going to have a look at how to add custom fields to your clients in CRMHaven. Now if we go into a client, you'll see that there are lots of different fields available. Hopefully all the fields that you need will be present, ready for you to go and add your data in relating to each particular client. But there's always some information that you want to put in that you can't necessarily just put in a notes field, that you do want to have as a separate custom field, whatever that text may be. That's where the custom tab comes in. So if we click on here, you can see that we have a thing called questions, responses, and a number of questions down the side here. Now the customs tab grabs information, the questions and the headers, based upon the particular information for that group. So you can see the group that we're working with, all of these clients are in one group, which is called group number 3, demo group. Now if I close down this window and come down to the options menu and go into edit group details, which is exactly the same as going under Windows database and then clicking on the group tab, what will come up is a list of all the different groups that we have access to and all the different possible fields that we can have for that value, for that group. Now in our circumstance, for the custom fields, we want to just click on descriptions, and you can see here is the information on the right here. Now if you go and muck things up, and you can just come along, click on samples, and it resets it to what the default values are. So we can change this, the information in these questions or responses. So we can change this, for example, to answers. And the first two relate to the headers, what the questions, what the responses may be. The other items relate to the particular fields, the extra custom fields that we're wanting to add on. So if we have a question about that's not already in the system, like what is the person's age? What is the person's age? The order is important. We can't go and change the values around, the questions around, because then the answers that people give will be in the wrong order to the question. So if you have extra questions you want, you're going to have to add them on to the end, unless you're setting up for the very first time. Okay, what's the person's age? You may want to have what's the what might be something useful? Say whether they've got children, any children. We may want to have what the if we're we've that's no good. Let me just undo that. We may want to have information on what particular types of cars or things that they have. So let's try that again. Car type. Just fix that up. There we go. So what we've done is we've gone and edited some of the details that relate to the group. Now this information here is only kept on the system once and related to the group. If you come and change in here, then the questions and those headers will change for everybody who uses that particular group. So let me go update, and that will save that information. We'll now come back, and if we hadn't closed it down, we'd need to, because we need to reopen this particular client who was a member of that group. So now when we click on custom, you'll see that the responses has changed to answers, and we now have those questions down here. Again, as I said before, this information on the top and down the left is not kept in with the client information. Only their answers are. Those are derived from this particular group. If somebody changes from one group to another, we're going to have to change potentially have to change the order of the answers and things that might be in there. Now the way that we add information in is if you click on any one of these items, it'll automatically put you in the correct area down below. Whichever one you click on, it'll put you down below. So if we say if they have any children, we can say 2. If we click on car type, we can say Ford. If we click on the person's age, we can say the person is 36, that sort of thing. And you can see as I'm typing the value, anything I put down the bottom here will automatically appear in that particular cell. If you didn't want to have to take your hand off and click on the mouse, you can hit the tab key. That then moves you up down to the particular field. When you're on the particular field that you want, you hit the tab key again and then come down, and you're now editing that particular field. So that way you can do a lot of data entry but with your hands entirely on the keyboard. Tab, move down, tab to get to the end. Tab, move down, tab to the end. Now this information is only saved once we actually click the update button. At the moment that information is only on this end of the computer. When I go update, it will then save these answers related to that particular client. Now we can show the custom information on our computer. We've seen that before when we came in here to go and edit just a particular group. If we want to, we can come down and click on the limit menu. Just as we saw before, instead of looking at all groups, if we just look at one particular group at a time, in this case the demo group, and instead of editing all the normal fields, if we actually ask it to edit the custom fields, then what happens is the text down below changes so that we still know who we're talking about. We've got the person's first name, last name and company, but all of the other fields to the right hand side are now the custom fields. So you can see the values that we put in before, and what's more is that each of these cells are actually editable cells. So we can, as soon as we edit a cell and leave the cell, it's actually going to write that custom field information up onto the server, ready for us to for other people to see. Now this is a very useful way for you to enter in lots of custom information. If you for example have the results of a questionnaire or a survey or something like that, you have the ability to see all the information in front of you. Let me just refresh that screen. I'm not sure what happened there. So what you can do then is all of these clients by definition members of the one group. They all must be of demo group 3. If you had multiple groups, you could jump onto another group and all the questions and things would change, and the responses would change for that particular group as well. So you can jump from one group to another, and you can come down here, and instead of having to edit only one record at a time, you can come in and edit the details of any record that you want. And as I said, as you move away, that writes those changes to the server. Okay, now to turn off this custom fields view, and of course you can create as many custom fields as you want. To turn it off, you can either come up here and change custom fields to all, or the quicker way is actually just to change the group to all, and that will turn off both of them. So if I turn that in group to all, you'll notice that both of these now change to edit all, and we're back to a situation where we have our normal fields showing up in place instead of the custom fields. Okay, so that's how we use the custom fields function within CRMHaven. We can add as many fields as you want. You've got to be careful with multiple groups, because you can have different questions per group. Make sure that you set the person in the right group properly, and as many different answers and as much text as you want for each of the answers for those particular users. You also have the ability to come down here and edit in a form as opposed to one by one, and later on you'll see that we have the ability to export the custom fields data as well if we just want the responses that people had to particular questions. So that extends the capabilities of CRMHaven in whatever directions you may want to take it with the extra custom fields. Okay, that's how custom fields work. I hope you find them useful. Thank you and goodbye.